the RT707. I think I'm going to do the test with the cover off just so I can show a couple of other things. Ton of deoxit on these top switches here, which definitely helped, made a difference. As long as we had the cover off, we hit the lower set of switches, and we were able to access it from the back there, if you can see. So we're able to deox all those as well. Coming back up to the top, we've got a series of 3, we call them slide resistors. What we did with those is we loosened up the contacts, marked where they go, slid them back, cleaned the windings underneath, and repositioned them. That way, if there's any oxidation underneath there, we would take care of that. Other things that we could treat while the cover's off, really couldn't do anything with these pots, can't get to them, but actually they work pretty darn well. Didn't have any problem with those. Around the back, we've got 2 output pots, deox those. We also went ahead to the jacks and the remote there too. Not a whole lot of dust in this. If you read the description on this, been in storage for a long time. Followed the advice of people on Audio Carmon, did not blow this out, as the dust just goes into the mechanical aspects of this, which makes sense. So I brushed off quite a bit of it. But again, there really wasn't much. This is a 3-motor unit, if you can see them back there. So we don't have a whole lot of belts and things in here. Not a whole lot of serviced items. So let's stand this up. Sorry, folks. Ugh. All right, and let's get going with the testing. Meters out of the way. Okay, here's the belt down below for the counter. It's actually in pretty good shape, so I'm not going to bother replacing that. It's still sort of elasticy and it holds tension tight. I am going to do the pinch roller here. If you take a look, pinch roller is actually in really good shape, but it is very old, so we're going to go ahead and replace that. Heads are in fantastic shape there. I'm going to take some pictures of that so you can see what's going on. But let's do the testing here. So not really set up to do a whole lot of recording, but what I did was Ohio Players. The only reason I do that is because they don't have any copyright protection via YouTube, so it isn't an issue. So let's see. Okay, there we go. That's the Ohio Players track that I recorded earlier. This is an old tape from high school, the 80s, about the only 7-inch reel I have left. So there's probably some weird stuff on it. All right, both channels. Lights are working fine on the meter. That's a direction light down there. And the other one works fine too. Let's see if we can switch it. Okay, that's the other direction. There we go. Okay. Sounds of the Ocean, high school project. But anyway, so that's the other direction. Let's go back this way. The Ohio Players. So those lights are working down there. What else do we have here? The other thing we did is we tightened up the band on this hub. We had issues when it was rewinding, and let me show you. We're going to rewind it. Stop. Okay, there we go. Before we had it spooling out all over the place. It's not doing that anymore. Let's do fast forward too. Let's see how that's working. There we go. Play. Pause. As I mentioned, records fine. It's what we're listening to right here. We've got a whole series of buttons at the top. Maybe that's easier. Okay, let's show you the speed. Let's get some music back in here. Okay, there we go. That's the slower speed. And that's our, this is our tape source. which of course cuts out. I don't have an input right now, but I did when I was recording earlier. Let's see, we've got bias and EQ. Oops, that's the end of that. Let's go back. Rewind. Okay. Bias, EQ. These are just the two recording switches, which when you're recording, if you want to do the left and right channel. Let's see. Pause button light does work, and like I said, I recorded stuff earlier. The red light did come on for recording. You'll have to trust me on that one. And I think that is about all the controls. Mic and line. That's what I was using during the recording process. And I think that is about all of the controls. And as I mentioned, we're going to be replacing the pinch roll. I've got that on order. All right. Thank you.